Here's a markerless motion. There's one thing missing from every markerless mocap clip you've recorded, and it's massively limiting how you can use it for both games and linear animation. It's called root motion. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to get root motion onto your markerless mocap clips in a few easy steps. So you can see now, we've got root motion on and root motion off. It worked.
My name's MXBell and I work on all these things, and I'm here to teach you how to make films in Unreal Engine. Welcome to Realtime Workflows.
So there are quite a few comments on the Markerless Mocap video about how it doesn't have root animation and is therefore basically useless. And I don't quite agree when it comes to linear animation, that animation without root motion is useless, but certainly for games it is. So let me just explain quickly what it is, and then what my super quick fix is for adding it to your Markerless clips. Let's take a look at a clip. It's just going to be easier to just demonstrate it. So here's a clip that comes in the game animation sample pack, right? Now, root motion is the thing that drives this character through the world. You can see the little kind of locatory multicolored thing that follows it around, right? And it's drawing out this path. That's the thing that drives it through the world. And you might think you've got it because your character moves through the world, but Unreal Engine needs to know what node is doing that driving. The way to tell that you don't have root motion is if you open the animation asset like I've got here and type in root motion and just turn it off, then you'll get this animation on the spot. Now this can be quite useful. What's even more useful is to be able to derive this information as to how this specific animation is meant to be driven through space and being able to use it somewhere else. And I did make a video about that, you'll recall, a few months ago, where I extracted the root motion out of an animation clip and put it onto a character's transform node in Sequencer so that we have better control over it there. But you can't do that if you don't have any root motion in the first place. So let's just check out what I'm talking about when it comes to the Markerless mocap clips. Okay, so here's a Markerless motion capture clip that I have just recorded and processed today. Okay, so a little bit of gunplay over it. Okay, so that's all processed now and as an animation sequence here. So if we double click this, okay, we can see it there as applied to the skeletal mesh that it makes for some reason. I return on root motion. We can see root motion is not enabled. That's usually a dead giveaway that there is no root motion here. So here's the quick way to do it. We know we don't have root motion. We know we want it. What we're going to do is with our animation clip open, we're going to come up here to this hamburger 3-bar menu thing. And we're going to go edit in Sequencer. We'll turn off filter by asset and we'll go bake it to control rig. I'm going to bake it to a MetaHuman control rig or whatever control rig you happen to be using. I use MetaHumans. So bake it to control rig. And obviously this is recorded for a MetaHuman. It's MetaHuman motion capture. Now what that has done, let's just check this out. That has made us, I've mentioned this in a previous video, but it's even more important here. So this is a level sequence with the animation that we just saw baked onto this MetaHuman rig. It's called driving underscore and then the name of the animation clip that we made. And if we go into here, we can see that it's actually put it inside a folder with that animation clip. Now, here's the important thing, because last time I talked about this, we were exporting new animations from it. Here's the important thing to remember. This thing is fucking live. It is a live link to that animation clip. Any changes you make here will update in that animation clip. For example, let's do this. If I were to come in here and get rid of that body offset and just move it down there, right? And hit save and then come back to our animation clip. Oh, look, now he's over there, right? That is a live link, okay? This level sequence now drives that animation, right? So let's come back into it. Let's put this back where it was. We don't need to do that, so we can just zero that back out. Now, I've been editing these fucking things for ages, and I've often wondered what this fucking arrow thing's for, right? Because it doesn't seem to do anything, right? It's not really doing much. But look what it's connected to. It's connected to this thing. So it occurred to me, when it's called root control, it occurred to me, I wonder if that's what the what's the root control is. So I thought I'd try it. Now here's what we're going to do. Ideally, we should be moving down the x-axis anyway, right? Positive x. So what we want to do is we're going to rotate this thing 90 degrees, right? So now we're moving down the positive x-axis. And basically, we're going to constrain this thing in certain axes to be basically doing what this is doing. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, so it's facing the direction that our character is facing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the start. We're going to grab our body controller. We're going to come to the constraint menu and constraints. I'm going to hit this button with it selected, this arrow, to select the body control as the parent. Now I'm going to select my root control and I'm going to add 2 constraints. I'm going to add them one at a time. We're going to do translation first. I'm going to click in here. We're going to leave everything as it was, and we're going to come to the axis filter. And I only want to constrain X and Y. Okay, we don't want Z. Z is up and down, and we're not interested in that. We just want it to translate along the ground. Now, gameplay animators, you tell me, maybe if this guy fucking jumps, we do want to have that in a root motion. I'm not sure. That's up to you. But for me, I'm just kind of like, I'm happy with it just being on the floor playing. I'm going to go from start and hit create. So now what this does is now our little arrow follows this guy. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with the same thing, I'm going to select it again, grab that and hit the button. And then we're going to go and grab our root control and we're going to add a rotation. And this time I'm going to filter only the Z. All right. And I'm going to maintain current offset and go from start. So now our little arrow follows this guy. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to hit save on this. I'm just going to hit save. I'm leaving the constraints live. Remember, if you want to edit this mocap, this is the scene that you're doing it in. So you want to tie those feet down. You want to make changes, use adjustment layers. You're going to do it all in here. You don't have to leave those constraints live. You can bake them. There's a bake button right underneath that will bake that shit down. You can leave them live, and I'm leaving them live just for the example here. But you don't have to, right? So I'm going to come back now to my animation and double click it. And now, lo and behold, look, that thing goes there. And if we go root motion and enable root motion, so you can see now we've got root motion on and root motion off. It worked. All right, so that's how we do it. One more time real quick from my other gunplay anim. We're going to just to reiterate the process and how quick it is, we're going to double click this. I'm going to come in here, edit in sequencer, baked control rig, metahuman, baked control rig, turn it off. Here he is. Okay. I want him to be walking down the positive x-axis, which he is not doing. So I'm going to come in here, grab that. I'm going to delete both these lines. We're going to rotate this 180 degrees. I'm going to rotate this one 90 degrees. I'm going to grab this and set up a constraint on here at the start. Translation, axis filter X and Y from start, create. Grab that again. Add rotation from start, create. Now we have root motion. Hit save. We can come back into here and we can see that the root motion is on. That's what the red thing suggests. Okay, so we enable it. And now if we disable it again, there we go. So we have force root look on to make sure that we can see that that is working. All right. So that is how to apply root motion. If you want to learn more about how to make films in Unreal Engine, you can like, subscribe, you can join the mailing list down there, follow my progress on Spacewalker, my Unreal Engine live action feature film that I'm making in public. I'm broadcasting the progress every week as I go. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you down the road.